My name is Markus Hoyte. I'm a BMX athlete, and I live in Brooklyn, New York City. I got into freestyle BMX through this kid in my neighborhood. At the time, I never seen anybody do the things he was doing on a bicycle. What he was doing, it looked fun. That someone could do the things he was doing on a bicycle, and I said to myself, I want to do that. I'm from Barbados. That's where I was born. That's where I grew up. That's where my family's from. I'm the second oldest of 5. I grew up in the ghetto in Barbados. I watched my mother struggle every day to provide for us. From selling snacks on the block, to biscuit and cheese, to fish and chips on a Friday, she tried very hard every day to provide for us. Despite everything that comes with that environment, she showed me that you gotta take the good with the bad, and what you make with it, that's totally up to you. Writing always been a thing that helped me deal with everyday problems and some of the things I see growing up in my neighborhood. A lot of things happened throughout my neighborhood that was a lot for a kid to experience at times. From the task force kicking on my mother's door looking for drugs and guns, to the violence throughout my neighborhood, to somebody saying drugs my uncle used and all that kind of thing. But you don't know that when you're living it every day and that's the only thing you see and being exposed to. I can definitely say writing was one of the things that kind of helped me escape some of those things and allow me to explore new things and new places. It definitely gave me the confidence to be confident in myself, to try new things and explore my surroundings. It kind of put that thought process in my brain, like if I can go from this neighborhood to that neighborhood, I can probably go beyond that neighborhood and travel and explore the world and do more things. I already had the love for riding bicycles from the age of 8. I love the freedom of it. I love the way that it made me feel. Adding tricks to the picture just made me more passionate about it, and I wanted to get better at it.
So filming with Markus is like filming no one else. He's just an amazing rider. The things that he used to do in the past compared to the things that he's doing today is just, it's been mind-blowing. You know, it's been a really roller coaster of a ride. And I don't know, he's the best in New York City. You know, we do have heavy hitters here in New York City, but as far as like working with him throughout the year, or the years I should say, he's definitely been, you know, a really amazing rider, a professional rider, I would say. Everything he puts his mind to, he does it, you know? And as far as filming him personally, because I filmed so many riders in New York City, anytime he said, hey, let's go do this, I just get everything ready and we meet up and we go filming, you know? And it'll be like the craziest trick. I don't even question it. As soon as he says, I'm gonna go do, for instance, the rainbow ride, I didn't even question it. I knew he was actually gonna do, you know, he was gonna land it and he was gonna commit to it. I've never questioned his, you know, ability to do anything at all, you know? An amazing rider, professional, yeah.
I remember we was hitting spots under the FDR heading to Wall Street. I remember hitting this big handrail before the crash. After hitting that handrail, we pedaled over to the spot where the crash happened. I don't really remember much at the spot per se, so I remember like kneecap was like sliding on the roof, and then I did like this U-turn to hit the handrail, and when I did the U-turn and saw kneecap coming down, it's just like after that everything else just went black. So with the crash, I was on the ledge and I hopped over to go to the rail. I think I gave the bunny hop too much pop, and that caused me to overshot with my front wheel, and the front peg kind of just went over the rail like I was going into a crooked grind, if you know about bicycle riding. And but I didn't go in a crooked grind, so the back peg was on the rail and the front peg missed, and that caused me to like went over the handlebars and like face planted on the ground and knock myself out. So I was out for like 30 seconds or so. I got up looking around, not sure where I was or what just happened. And I just remember telling my friend Makal, like, yo, I think I need to go to the hospital. He's like, bet, let's go to the hospital. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking that the ambulance came and got me and took me to the hospital, but came to find out that I rode myself to the hospital. And when I was riding myself to the hospital, all my homies surrounded me and had me inside in the middle of them because they were kind of worried and scared like I would do something crazy, like ride into traffic or something like that. We at the hospital now. Makal handled everything from like calling my girl, from talking to the doctors and all that stuff. Makal handled all that stuff. And I'm really grateful for him being there that day. At one point, he told me that I was getting him so annoyed because I was saying thank you and sorry to everyone walking by, from the doctors to the nurse to random people that didn't have anything to do with my situation. I was just saying thank you and sorry to everyone. I don't know why, I don't remember any of this. This is what Makal told me.
I'm in the hospital right now. Yeah, I don't remember much because I gave myself like a concussion. Everyone said I rode myself to the hospital, which I don't remember any of that.
So this is like the day after. I think the crash happened a Sunday, and this is a Monday. I'm in the hospital now, like I'm in bed, woke up, saw my girl over there sitting. I'm still a little foggy right now. I don't know like what's happening or like what's going on, or like I don't recall like the whole actual situation of like what had happened. Still don't know like my physical health is yet, because the nurse didn't say anything and the doctor didn't say anything. The nurse came in as first, then the doctor came in and started like letting me know what's happened. He said I had epidermal hypotomia. I was like, I don't know what that is. So he kind of started breaking down to me like what that is. So he said, basically I cracked my skull, had bleeding to the brain. Blood was also running to my right eye that could potentially make me go blind in my right eye. And the doctor told me if this continued, that they would have to take me in for surgery to make the bleeding stop in my brain.
So I found out about the crash, the accident, from Markus, because the day prior, he actually called me since we were working on a project, and I hit him up this Sunday. And when he picked up the phone, I was like, yo, what's good? You know, I'm trying to get this project, you know, going. And then he was like, I'm in the hospital right now. So I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're in the hospital? He's like, he said, I just got into an accident, like a bike accident. And at that point, I'm like, well, you know, is everything okay? Or, you know, but I don't think he really knew where he was at the time. Like he knew he was at the hospital, but then everything sort of escalated while he was talking to me. I guess there was a nurse or whoever around because I could hear her voice. Markus asked her if everything is good, if I'm ready to leave the hospital. And I'm guessing the nurse, whoever on the other line, on the other side, she said, now, you know, there's more to, like, you probably have to get like a CAT scan, or you have to get something done further, like more further procedures. And that's when I guess like things really escalated to another level, because I tried calling him back just to figure out, you know, well, was everything okay? And then his girlfriend, Sam, she texted me and she said, no, they have to go to another hospital. And that's when everything, like, you know, went, I guess, like, it didn't sound like it was just like a minor crash, you know, because I haven't really seen the crash or anything. And I figured once she said that he has to transfer from the second hospital, you know, I knew it was going to be like a life or death situation right there. So.
Only thing I remember is like when I was at the hospital, they had me in the ambulance to transport me from that hospital to the one on the Upper West Side. And this is what I'm at now. That's the only thing I remember. You know, today is Monday. I've been here since Sunday evening or Sunday night or so.
I have needles in my arms. I have these cords run from my chest, from my belly to a machine. But he says right now, the bleeding is not that bad. He still want to monitor it to make sure that it don't get out of hand or it don't like increase or anything like that. So he's like, we already done 2 CAT scans that I have no idea about. I didn't recall getting any CAT scans or anything like that. So we done 2 CAT scans already. The bleeding is not that bad. It's a slow bleed. Let's try to do 1 more CAT scan. And like, if it's not stable on this CAT scan, we're gonna have to try to get you to go to surgery before this thing escalates into something bigger than what it is now. So he told me that, and I'm like, I just start like break out crying, because I'm like, 1, I hate surgery, and 2, I was just scared, you know. And the procedure for the surgery would be, he said, I will have to cut you from one side of your ear to the next side of your ear and drill your forehead out. And that procedure would take 4 hours. And I just started crying. Like, I was scared. So he told me that, like, okay, you know, we're going to give you 1 more CAT scan, which will be my 3rd CAT scan. And if it's not stable, if the blood is not stable by then, like, we're going to have to immediately get you to surgery, because we don't want this thing to escalate to anything that, you know, it's not bad. You don't want to escalate to any worse situation. So on my way to get the x-ray, I'm praying, I'm crying. I'm praying, I'm crying the whole time. And I'm just like an emotional wreck at this point, like, you know, because honestly, I'm scared, like, you know.
Had like 4 CAT scans already. So the first one showed a little spotting. The second one showed that the blood spot was growing. The third one showed that it was stable. And the 4th one showed that it was stable. So if it didn't show that it was stable, I would be going into surgery right now.
I got the CAT scan. They brought me back to my room. 10-15 minutes later, the nurse walked in and she asked that the doctor came back to see you to give you your results. And I said, no, not yet. And she said, well, I got good news. The bleeding is stable. And I remember when she told me that, I started crying again, because knowing that I'm going to be okay, knowing that I don't need any surgery was the best thing ever for this situation, because it's probably the scariest thing that ever happened to me. You know, it was a close call.
Everything that he's done, everything that he's touched, it's just been gold. So this year we were supposed to be working on a project, and I felt like this year would have been the year where because he shut down the city last year, this year was going to be the takeover for him to be on another level, to be, even more sponsorships. Because last year we did a lot of projects where he was able to get sponsorships with Fit and sponsorships with Odyssey. And it's just trying to become more than just, a BMX rider or BMX athlete. We're going for the bigger sponsorships for the Red Bulls and the Monsters and the what have you. So it's kind of it can happen. I know it can still happen. I know, he's definitely still an amazing rider, but it's up to him if he wants to continue on that path. But he still has it in him, where it's I felt like even with all the production that we've put out last year, I felt like he could have gotten so much more recognition than he has right now. But again, everything is a stepping stone. Everything is it's not just going to be handed to you. So I know he's been working really hard to become a really well-known rider in New York. Not to say that he isn't, but just globally, we're going for on a global level, I should say. So moving forward, I don't know what's going to happen if Markus is actually going to go back on the bike. But if he does, we're still going to crush it the same way that we did previous years. And again, he's going to be taking over, He's definitely going to be getting more recognition than he is. And I felt like the city should definitely support him more, even though he does have the support. But I feel like the city should just come together and actually champion everything that he has going on. And again, it's not like he's asking for anything. He's been working every single time, putting in so many hours. There's many hours we spent outside filming, and people only see the end product. They don't really see the process of everything that we've done, the driving far to different places, and and the commitment when it comes to putting out all these quality videos that we have in the past. So with that being said, let's see what he has moving forward, if he's actually going to continue doing what he does best. Yeah.
The goal right now is working on getting better physically and mentally, and then after that, we're right back at it. I remember as a kid, all I think about was becoming a professional athlete, The path, the approach might be a little different moving forward, but the goal is still the same. I can't give up. I just gotta keep going.